What if your perfect English is actually costing you million-dollar business deals?
Mm.
Welcome to today's deep dive.
Yeah, it's a crazy thought, right?
It really is. I mean, today we are exploring Jimmy Mello's The B1 Code alongside Jean-Paul Narier's Globish. And we're unpacking a highly persuasive pitch, which is basically why native fluency is a dangerous barrier in the global market.
Right, and how adopting this B1 mindset is the missing key to international success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the data from these sources is just wild. Like out of the 1.5 billion English speakers worldwide, guess how many conversations are actually native to native? Just 4%.
4%. That is, well, it completely flips our traditional understanding of communication right on its head.
Cool.
Because the global market doesn't actually operate on standard native English. It operates on BLF, business English as a lingua franca.
Okay, right.
Specifically, it thrives at that B1 or B2 proficiency level. For context, that is that intermediate, highly functional level. The entire global operating system relies on a practical core of just like 2,000 to 3,000 high-frequency words.
But wait, I have to push back a little here.
Yeah.
Doesn't simplifying your vocabulary feel, well, disrespectful to the listener? It almost sounds like you were treating a foreign client like a child.
That is a very common fear, absolutely.
Mm.
But the sources reframe this using this fascinating concept from audio engineering.
Audio engineering. How so?
Yeah, so in global business, complex grammar, advanced vocabulary, and native idioms, they aren't a sign of respect. They are literally grammatical noise.
Noise. Oh, that makes sense.
Right. If you use a super complex tense when a simple one works, you are just creating static. And that static completely blocks the core message and causes communication failure.
Ah, so it isn't about dumbing things down at all. It's about removing interference.
Exactly, yes.
It actually makes me think about how we interact with modern AI.
Oh, that's a really good comparison.
Right, because when you type a prompt into an AI, it doesn't stop to correct your typos or, scold you for broken grammar. It adapts, it ignores the grammatical noise, and it just executes your intent.
That is spot on. Native English speakers have to do the exact same thing in international business.
Because all that complex noise just derails the negotiations.
Exactly. Global professionals have to adapt using what the sources called the let it pass principle.
Let it pass.
Yeah, successful international communicators intentionally ignore small errors, like if a client drops a third-person S or maybe misses an article like the or a, you don't stop the meeting to correct them.
Right, you never do that.
You just let it pass and focus entirely on the speaker's intent, just like the AI.
And doing that effectively requires what the sources call a high-frequency filter. Using English idioms like piece of cake or phrasal verbs like find out is, well, it's like telling an inside joke to a perfect stranger.
Yeah, it completely fails to translate.
It really does. Instead, we need to swap those phrases for universally understood anchors. For example, replacing find out with a Latin-rooted cognate like discover.
Which makes sense because words with Latin roots are recognized by speakers of Romance languages all over the world. They build an instant bridge of understanding.
But if this functional B1 level communication is the ultimate solution to international success, it kind of begs the question, why do traditional corporate language trainings consistently fail to teach it?
Well, because corporations usually treat simple English like a basic, cheap vocabulary worksheet. And human psychology just doesn't value cheap.
Oh, right. Which brings us to Mello's citation of Dan Ariely's MIT painkiller experiment.
Yes, that study is brilliant for understanding corporate behavior.
Yeah.
So patients were given fake painkillers.
Okay.
Those who took a 10-cent fake pill reported significantly less pain relief than those who took a $2.50 fake pill.
Wow. Even though they were both completely fake.
Exactly. The expectation of value altered the actual efficacy in their brains.
So cheap language solutions create cheap results. If you just hand an executive a simple English pamphlet, they will dismiss it.
They absolutely will.
Mastering the B1 code requires a high-value mental reset. The training has to be positioned as a premium psychological shift, where executives learn to stop performing for a grammar grade and start genuinely connecting with their global partners.
Because the ultimate goal of global communication is getting the job done and building rapport.
Right.
It is never about passing a grammar test. Fluency without clarity is just noise.
That is such a powerful takeaway. Think about the last email you sent to an international colleague. Were you truly communicating to them, using words they could easily decode?
Or were you just talking at them?
Exactly. Were you just talking at them to prove your own perfect fluency? Because if your perfect English is just noise, you might be the one breaking the deal.